Okay, so we're back with Bolivar bands. Um, Basically, what I'm going to show you here are the three types of Bolivar bands. There are three standard types, and they differ a little bit depending on when your cigar is from. Without moving them too much, because it's very hard to get any decent shot of them with this camera, something we're going to have to work on in the future. Here we have our first type. This band is on all Bolivar cigars dating from 1960s, pre-1960s, all the way up to 2002. It was discontinued in 2002. The main difference, the main way to tell these bands apart is the font Bolivar. Okay? This is what they call serif script. It's a bit of a fancier looking font than the next band we're going to look at. I don't know how close I can bring this without getting totally blurry. Okay, and the other difference is this one says Habana. The second band will say Habana, but the latest band says Habana Cuba. Okay, so this is our first band. It's on all Bolivar cigars from 2002 and back. All right, the example we're looking at here is, if you notice, which I thought it was fake, see the red lines? They are printed outside the area where they should be. I don't know if I'm catching that. Okay, but they go right past the metal all the way out into the white frame. Funny thing about that is if you look in this last month's issue of Cigar Aficionado, the top 25, December 2011, go all the way back to the Connoisseur's Corner, one page they always do on some old cigars, and they have a Bolivar cigar there. And I was surprised when I looked at it and saw that the band they have on their cigar has exactly the same misprint. Which, you know, all of a sudden now I'm like, I always thought this was a fake band. Now I'm like, well, Cigar Aficionado, which is supposed to be so, you know, we know what we're doing, all of a sudden has a band just like this in their Connoisseur's Corner. So, fake or not, I have no idea. Everything else about this band, for an old band, is pretty much okay. The emblems are not embossed very well. They're a little funky, but this happens in some older bands. We can see that on counterfeits, what they really miss is like the roping, the dots around the circle, the center, and those look pretty good. Those are standing out. The main problem, again, is that red line that prints outside the border. But on Cigar Aficionado, I don't know if they caught that or not, that's the band they have on there. The band ends the way it should, and there's a lot of hard glue here, but we never know if somebody re-glued this band on a cigar after shipping or not, so we really can't tell from that. But there you have it. There's our first type of band. Also, here's another copy. If you notice, the sweater is a completely different color. This is a yellowish brown. This is a darker brown. Again, I've seen real cigars with both, so I really can't tell you if that's fake or not. Okay. Everything else, you know, for an old band, again, it looks pretty funky. The metals are pretty, you know, sloppily embossed. But I really can't tell you. I will tell you, when I look closely at this, it looks very cartoonish. It looks almost like when you look at a comic book, how you can see all the dots. Doesn't look like this one. Doesn't look as good as this one. So, I don't know. Could be fake, could be real. But thank God we don't have to deal with that style of band much anymore because it's been discontinued. Okay? The second style of band is quite similar. This one I'm thinking might be fake. Then again, it might not. There are a few things. One, it's been embossed so hard, over-embossed, that it perforated right through the band and caused it to snap. Look at that. I don't know. You see? Perforated right through it. That's from the embossing. Okay? On a real Bolivar band of this release, which is 2002, between 2002 and 2009, you have basically the same metals. Still says Habana, just Habana. The Bolivar text is different. It's a little more standard. It's sans serif script, not just serif script. And man, you know what? It's funny. On the website I'm reading, it says new crisp embossing die. I guess they changed the embossing die, and wow, that sure is crisp. It crisped right through it. So maybe this is a real band. The sweater color, again, should be more orange, but we just don't know at this point. It is suspect. Finally, the third band, the newest band. This band started, it was first presented for special releases 2006 and on, and then it was introduced to all standard releases starting in 2009. So all modern Bolivar cigars should have this band. The sweater is a deep orange, and I've only seen it that way so far on these new bands. Again, the Bolivar text has changed. It is a little fuzzier than the last one. It is basically the same font, except it's not straight. It's kind of, I don't know how to say it, bubbly looking. And it says Habana Cuba, not just Habana. Okay, I have some really bad light here, unfortunately, but just bear with me because I want to show you something. Now, on this band, it also ends like the website I'm about to show you says it should end. But different factories make these bands, and this can always be changed all of a sudden, year to year, without any kind of warning. So just because it doesn't have this at the end doesn't mean right away that it's fake. Years are important, and if you don't know what year you're dealing with, you really can't tell. The metals on this band are well embossed. Everything is in place. This, I would say, for sure is a genuine band. There's really nothing wrong with this band. It's actually a great example, and I'm working on a little book of bands, fake and real, whatnot, and I'd like to put this in there. It's a very, very nice example. You could tell they didn't use any kind of crazy glue when it was on the cigar. Embossed very nicely. Okay. And I guess that's about it for this band. Again, note the sweater color, deep orange, and on this second band, brownish, which don't know, can't tell. Alright, so let me show you that website where we have our different bands right here. This is called CubanCigarWebsite.com, and this guy has done an absolutely amazing job of assembling the largest online, basically, database of all sorts of Cuban cigar stuff. Everything. Every release. Even he has releases that haven't even been released yet. It's unbelievable. Anyway, major, major, major kudos to him. I never use that word, so I must really mean it. Here's a few things I want to point out. Here's our original band. I'll blow it up for you. You can see yellowish kind of sweater, not really deep orange yet. Okay? Embossing, kind of rounded, not sharp like it is these days. The outer frame is more connected than individual dots. Okay? And the font, which is different. We'll move over to the next one. Okay, where the font has changed. The dots are more separate. The embossing is much more crisp. The little triangles aren't filled in. That's an interesting point. The sweater is a deeper orange. Okay, and the band ends like this. It's not just cut off. The third type, the newest type, you can see the sweater is really, really orange now. It also says Habana Cuba instead of just Habana. The Bolivar text is different again. The dots around the frame are very, very embossed. And the embossing is sharp everywhere. Again, the band ends in an ovular shape. ellipse kind of thing here going on, and ring gauge printed on there. Okay, the last band you saw is basically a replica of this one, but used for slender cigars, so we're not going to bother with that. But notice how the sweater is always orange except for the oldest band. Okay, so moving away from that, let's take a look at the two cigars I have here.